Hello and welcome to the next episode of Redcoin, the Nintendo podcast. Everybody is back to talk about Pokemon. We've got Pokemon VGC, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Go, and Pokken Tournament. But it's not all Pokemon. We're also talking a bit about Hyrule Warriors on 3DS and how bad it is. The NX controller controversy. Is it real or is it fake? It's fake. And Adam chimes in with his Nintendo Direct response, as he was not here in the last episode to talk about it. All that and more in the next episode of Redcoin, the Nintendo podcast.
Hello and welcome to the 3rd March episode of Redcoin, the Nintendo podcast. Adam has returned from his long break, and I'm here.
From the leg surgery. Getting those legs replaced.
No, my legs are fully repaired.
I have become got a nice set of pins on you.
Well,
there now.
thank you. I am a Robobot, Kirby style. So I'm here with Cam.
Hello, how you doing, Adam?
I'm great. Good to be back. Happy to be back. Happy to discuss all the direct news briefly
you
as well.
missed a bit.
Yes.
Of all the episodes you could miss.
I know. I was
So much we could have
very
used before.
sad to be missing it. I'm very happy to be back. Very happy to talk some Nintendo. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, Adam. I'm good. How are you?
Great.
How's the leg?
The leg's fine.
Good.
The leg's fine. I haven't been doing any crazy fighting like some Pokken fighters. So,
We'll get into that later.
we will get into that later. We'll be talking more about Pokken.
No, but you're looking good. So that's
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah,
I appreciate
healthy.
that. We're always looking good. We're always happy to be here. Aaron, how are you?
I'm good. I missed you, Adam.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So someone's got to care, right?
No, I think we all care for each other, and it's always better when we have episodes where everyone's back on deck. So
I agree.
I feel like a lot we covered last week was very Adam-esque anyway. You know, the Kirby stuff and the Mario Paper Jam stuff.
well, that's exactly right. I kind of, I caught up and I listened to you guys. I do listen.
How do we go?
I thought
At
you
least
guys did a
someone
great
is.
job.
Someone's listening.
Someone is listening.
Some
Look,
would say it was a better episode.
Some would say that.
who are these?
A better
people?
host, I would say.
Who are these people?
my
And
mum.
remind me. All the people I spoke to. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, let's get you, because you missed out on a little bit of the direct talk and some other
Yes.
stuff. So we'll get your point of view. So you had something to take away from the direct yourself.
Yeah.
The floor is yours, Adam.
Well, firstly, I mean, the main thing that I really took from the Direct is, a strong showing from 3DS and in sort of its possible last year on the market. I really think, we recently, the 3DS now has turned 5, I think?
Yeah, 5 years old.
So this console is 5 years old, and after a relatively weak showing this, last year, I think we've got some good games coming out for it, which I want to talk about. I'm really excited for Kirby Planet Robobot. I think it's going to be a new, exciting Kirby game.
Is it Robobot or Robobot?
No, it's Robobot.
Robobot.
Okay, it is, okay. I know, sometimes they like to do weird pronunciations.
Well, I agree.
for
It's a
that stuff.
stupid name.
It is a stupid name.
So I think, why not call it Robot? Because I want to trademark Robobot.
Yeah.
So something I didn't say last week, which I would really like to see, like a Kirby R-rated game where Kirby just gets really violent
Kirby's
and bloody.
Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
That would be...
Kirby
okay.
just gets
really?
really
Come on.
badass.
This is Nintendo
bad.
we are talking about here.
I know.
I feel like that's actually a good question, guys. I think if you look at any of Nintendo's properties, what's the most likely would we ever see an MA? Like, I don't think we'd see an R-rated game, but would we ever see an MA-rated
What game
Nintendo
can they Deadpool?
game?
I would say, Metroid
Yeah.
would be a very easy way to move up to MA or R. Not like, hey, I'm Samus, I'm going to have sex with everything today. But,
Yeah.
violence.
kill everything, yeah.
Though
Yeah.
I would pay money for that.
But I feel like
It would sell a bit better than the recent Metroid games.
Well, I feel like
not
Nintendo get that from their existing second-party or third-party deals or their third-party exclusives. Like Bayonetta is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Even going
they
back
had Devil's Third, that was R.
Yeah.
They had...
Mad World on the
Ninja
Wii.
Gaiden.
Oh, Mad
MA.
World's so good.
Yeah.
Mad
Yeah.
World was great.
So that from
They've had a
Sega.
few. They've had
So
a few.
yeah, they have had a few. But Kirby, very exciting. I think the idea of the mechanized copy abilities and again that amiibo integration.
Are we going to see Mecha Knight?
Oh, spoiler.
Oh,
a
sorry.
mechanized?
Like
Maybe.
Mecha Knight, but
yeah,
Mecha
but
Knight.
mecha. Yeah, I think that's a given. To be quite honest with you, I think that sounds really good. And also, we saw the first sort of kind of footage of Metroid Prime Federation Force. And I'm a defender of. Go on the record and say Metroid Prime Hunters is to me not one of the best games on DS, but it was certainly a fun time with DS.
I love Metroid Prime Hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember having a real good time with the demo that came with the DS at the time.
Yes.
And I remember playing that a lot. So
Yeah, me too.
I think I could see a case where we could convince each other to buy it and have some fun in an afternoon.
Yeah,
with
I'm
that.
interested.
Like,
yeah.
And so that's kind of what really stuck out at me. Also, I'm not as doom and gloom on Star Fox as I once was.
Everyone else in the world is.
As everyone else in the world is. I still think it's going to be a fun game, and I think the gamepad might not be the most ideal control method, but it might, still be a control method.
It's like
that
I said
makes sense.
previously, I have it paid off completely, ready to pick up, but I don't know if I will pick it up yet.
Yeah.
I'm still not sold. I want it, but I just...
Well, you've been sold, but you've not been sold.
Yeah.
But I feel like it depends when it comes out, right? Like, I think it's coming out, in a couple of months.
Yeah.
It's going to be in that spot where you might be done with Pokken, and you might be looking for something new.
We'll see.
I think we'll see. And then another thing I really liked as well, as someone who quite enjoys the Rhythm Heaven games, but had a bit of trouble with Rhythm Heaven previously when it was on DS. I thought the games were quite hard. I'd be keen to try it out again. So I think that's going to be exciting that's going to come out. And then last but not least, the one thing that really... Oh, two things, sorry. Paper Mario Color Splash, I think coming to Wii U was a big deal.
Yes,
I really like the Wii U the console Paper Marios more. And then the fact that SNES games are coming to 3DS, I thought was really good.
That was a
New
big thing
3DS.
we all liked.
New 3DS. Sorry, New 3DS. Being a new 3DS owner.
Yes.
But I do believe that I hope that cross-buy comes in at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
It will
Chris,
have to.
do you think it? Yeah, do you think it will?
I have no idea, Adam.
Yeah.
It needs to. It needs to happen, but I don't know. We have to wait to see what My Nintendo does for cross-buy.
Yeah.
It could be a whole new thing.
That's why I'm a bit skittish to rebuy some of these games.
Yeah.
Because I have
Exactly,
some of
exactly
them
what I
on.
said, yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll be
Wii
talking
U?
a bit about the My Nintendo Rewards a bit later, so we can go into it a bit more about...
Yes, because we have more
why-
details on that, actually.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, overall, I thought it was a great direct. There's a lot of great stuff.
So the next announcement coming out...
We've had a bit of news since the last one as well.
Yeah.
Since Adam hasn't been here. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Must be
definitely.
okay.
Yeah, but the next one coming out is it this weekend, or at least very soon, is more Sun and Moon footage, or actual Sun and Moon footage.
So I think
should
it's
say.
April 3rd. I think Masuda is appearing on a Japanese TV show of some sort.
Is it a Pokemon
I think it's Pokemon
show?
themed,
Yes.
but it's weird that that would be Japanese only if it's
Yes.
going to be any significant footage. So we really don't know what to expect, guys. To be honest,
Because so far all we've got in Sun and Moon is
titles and logos,
and
and
a
that's
weird
it.
bird that may or may not be
Yeah.
fledgling.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some design footage,
Yeah.
which is very unlike what we've seen in Pokemon
Yeah, like
in
3D,
the past.
3D.
Or sketching and that
Yeah.
kind of thing
Yeah.
as well.
So we don't know what's going to happen.
But what I've noticed when Pokemon gets announced in the past, maybe less so with games that have a worldwide release, but I do note that the Japanese magazine CoroCoro is the one that breaks a lot of the Pokemon
Yeah, it
exclusives,
does.
even while we're finding out stuff about the next game. So I think this is probably an extension of that, being that
Yep.
I don't know if we might get starters. I don't even think we'll get a Pokemon per se, because I think they still want to keep the excitement around some of the legendary Pokemon that are still yet to fully make their appearance
Well, I think
in
a
the current
Coro-
generation.
A CoroCoro leak is pretty soon upcoming anyway. I think it's scheduled.
There's
to
an
come
issue
out.
coming out
Yeah.
soon. Yeah, you're right.
So once
we'll get
that
some
happens,
scans.
we'll be able to go into a bit more depth with what we've
Yeah.
seen. And after this announcement, I mean, this announcement, they might just come out and say, "Oh yeah, here's the total list of Pokemon and everything we're changing in the game."
Yeah.
Unlikely,
Yeah.
but we don't know.
Look,
I'm
we could get cover legendaries.
Yeah.
We could get starters. I personally hope that we get starters,
Starters,
or
always
at least
starts
maybe
are high.
silhouettes of
I'm
just
sure
of,
we'll
of
get
the
what the
level
trainers
one.
look like.
CoroCoro is pretty standard for the starters, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we'll get it this weekend, but maybe next CoroCoro we'll get starters.
Definitely before E3.
But I just feel like starters is, it's probably the standard thing. I mean, they could show us things like a gameplay
Snippet or
new,
something, yeah.
or what the trainer will look like.
Yeah.
There's reasons for that as well. I feel like the starter discussion will just be a lot of like, for me personally, it'll be like, oh, do I like that water starter or not? If I like it, all right, I'll pick that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I always
I'm
pick
going
the
to be
water
picking
one.
it anyway.
I remember a lot of
know.
us, I think, with
I had to
the
pick
the
Piplup,
last gen.
even though it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of last gen people were like Froakies. From the minute the starters got released, everyone was
yeah.
like Froakie, done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was the extent of the discussion. Like, it is
Team
very,
Fennekin,
pretty
Team
hard
Froakie.
to
Yeah.
have have a wide discussion on that.
See, like, in Gen 1, Squirtle and Charmander, and I guess to an extent Bulbasaur, like, there was actually division amongst it. But, yeah, Froakie, like, it was almost universally just like, wow, this one is way better than the other starters this time.
Yeah.
So I hope, I'm hoping...
especially after Greninja got announced or
Greninja
shown,
really
and then
was
everyone really team.
Well, Greninja was quite late in the pace as well. I
Yeah.
think, like, all the fully evolved starters, I don't think were
They didn't
shown
get
until
shown.
like a week before the game came
yeah,
out.
it's pretty crazy.
So, but I think that's also pretty standard. Like, I feel like once starters get revealed, you know very little about their evolutions or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for
Keep it that way.
a six-way typing. So, like we did similar with this gen, how there was like dark water, grass fighting. I want to see like maybe double weaknesses or the opposite weakness to them.
it's already been done, but again, that would be cool.
But with a different triangle.
Yeah, with a different triangle.
I mean, obviously, we don't want to get into speculation because we don't know anything about the game, but I'd really love to see them break away from the grass, water, fire starter trio because there's
there
two
were
other
rumors.
trios.
There were rumors. There've always been rumors of it. I just don't think they will.
Yeah.
It would be
it's
big.
too much
That
of a
would be
douche.
amazing.
In terms
Yeah.
of
But we'll get
the
into
audience it's
that.
aimed for, it just it's
Yeah.
easy for a beginner, for a child that's playing their first Pokemon.
It's very basic.
It's
Rock, paper,
very
scissors,
easy
yeah.
to explain.
Yeah.
it.
And look, let's be honest. In the upcoming months, we are going to be very Pokemon centered.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
can
so.
I just
Pokemon
say,
stuff's
I
coming out.
probably should have mentioned this before we got into Sun and Moon, but as a disclaimer, this episode is going to have a lot of Pokemon in it.
Yeah, we got a few things.
As a lot of previous episodes have actually.
It's not going to
so-
be. It's not going to be all Pokemon, but it's going to be
It's
heavily Pokemon.
It's
based.
Redcoin the Pokemon sometimes Nintendo podcast. I think.
And yeah,
When we're light on news.
being
yes.
the year of Pokemon and the year of NX, I think those are going to be our two biggest headlines.
We
this
got
whole
big
year.
Pokemon. We got small Pokemon. If
One
you
thing I
find
want to
cheaper
say
Pokemon,
before we move on to other Pokemon news, I was reading some comments from the creators, and they were trying to allude to the fact that at the moment they believe competitive Pokemon to be quite complicated, and they wanted to. They alluded to making it simpler with the coming game Sun and Moon.
Okay.
And I wanted to discuss this idea with you guys in terms of like we've all done it. We've all done. For those who play competitive Pokemon, you know that you spend countless hours breeding to find perfect Pokemon that have
Yeah.
these so-called stats that are even hidden.
Yeah.
EVs,
you know,
IVs.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I can see
abilities.
them getting rid of IVs.
yeah,
I
individual
think,
values.
I think
yeah.
IVs can go.
Yeah.
That's not too bad because it doesn't make a big difference. There's still very heavy reliability on EVs.
Yeah.
Effort values.
Yes.
So let's just use a Kangaskhan as an example. IV training, it's all about the attack and health usually.
Yeah.
So if
You
we
mean
just get
EV
rid
training,
of,
sorry.
So IV breeding, sorry, is what
Yes.
I mean. So if we're looking for IVs, you want to get perfect 31s or whatever you're trying to do, we can get that out of the way. Don't worry about that. Then you have, okay, now I can just EV train. I don't have to worry about breeding. Any Kangaskhan will be fine as long as it has the correct nature.
Yeah.
So you can go from there.
But I think
that'll
it's
take a
something
lot out.
interesting to put. Like, yeah, what if every Pokemon had the same IVs, you wouldn't have to breed 60, 70 eggs of a Pokemon sometimes
Yep.
in a way to get perfect IVs. And they already lock perfect IVs to like 4 or 5 or even, you know,
I mean,
3
you can, using
for
different
some
methods.
legendaries.
Yeah, look, I gotta say that I'm a big fan of getting rid of IVs now that I think about it,
Mm.
or at least show them in the game. Like, why does it have to be hidden? I don't understand. And it's
Yeah.
such an arbitrary thing where you have to go to a specific person
Go
in
to
this,
second.
and they tell you, oh,
A
this
cryptic
yeah,
statement
it's
that
like
doesn't
so
necessarily...
cryptic, right?
Yeah.
So, like, get rid of IVs, and I think that them bringing in legendaries to the new format of VGC 16 is a way for them to simplify the format as well.
Yeah,
So I'd
definitely.
rather see them simplify it by getting rid of IVs and maybe having a wider range of viable Pokemon than just everyone can use legendaries, for example.
But even that doesn't simplify it because while the legendaries, some have perfect IVs, if you get a bad roll on a legendary and they have their perfect IVs locked away, but their other individual values are not as good, then that's still not a competitively
Yeah, I
viable
agree.
legendary.
I agree.
And then
So-
it's that problem again.
So
I think IVs is the biggest challenge. EVs, you can smash out all your Pokemon.
and you can change EVs as
And-
well. There are different ways.
They made it possible to change EVs.
Yeah.
So Super Training, I think, was one of the best additions
Yeah, I agree.
they have had in the Pokemon franchise
If
for a
you
while.
want to change to a special Greninja, reset
reset
bag,
bag, yeah, done.
and you're done, and you don't have to worry about these IVs again.
Yeah.
So that alone will be a huge change. I hope they do that.
Yeah.
I think keep EVs.
Yeah.
I don't think you should get rid of them.
What about Natures?
natures are important to keep.
Very important, but I'd love to be able to change them somehow.
Yeah, like maybe have a
Like an
item in
ability
game that
capsule.
changes.
Yeah, or
it.
someone that you go to and say like, oh, I'll do like this special therapy on your Pokemon that changes its nature or something like
Yeah.
that. Because breeding is very archaic, and as
Yes.
much as I love doing it, like back in the day, I don't have time for that shit anymore.
Yeah,
like
I think there's something about breeding that used to be exciting. Like as
Yeah.
a kid, you were given an egg. It was that thing of like you saw it in the anime with Togepi. Like, what's
Yeah.
going to hatch
yeah,
out of this
what
egg?
is gonna be? Yeah,
What's it going to be? And then now growing up, we've come to this realization that everyone knows what it's going to be. So the mystery of egg breeding is not
it's
there
so
anymore.
archaic.
I remember in the
yeah.
anime at the start, Brock wanted to be a Pokemon breeder, and now he's just like, it's like 12 years later, and he's still just hanging around with Ash.
Yeah, he's still counting his steps. He needs like 12,000 steps, Aaron.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, like, it's a bit of a... No one really talks about it, but Pokemon Genning is a very popular thing as well in the
Yeah.
competitive scene. So that would kind of strip that out as well.
Yeah.
We don't want to see Pokemon be
If you
Gen.
remove natures and IVs, I guarantee you would see the amount of people using legitimate Pokemon, like that they bred themselves,
go higher.
go
Yeah.
up way more.
I'm changing my mind about natures. I think you can get rid of them. I think EVs
Really?
are diverse enough that you can rely solely on EVs to shape your Pokemon.
Yeah.
And just make any sort of nature boost that you get. If all natures are removed, then there's no positives, there's no negatives.
Yeah.
I would also like to say, before we round this up, that this would also make it more compatible with saying catching Pokemon in Pokemon Go, for example.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, maybe being
You
able
don't
to
have
trade
to
them back
worry
and forth.
about.
Yeah, exactly.
And with the whole Gen 1 being moved up, there are no natures.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's why I think that was what
Yeah.
I was alluding to as well. Like, you know, Gen 1 was a simpler time. It was very broken as a competitive game because I don't think Game Freak even expected it to be
No, they didn't. Wouldn't have.
as successful as it was. But I think, like, stripping some of that and putting it into Sun and Moon, I think can only help the
And
franchise.
they've straight up said that you're going to be transferring to them. So that would make the transfer process a lot easier. You wouldn't have to add in all this extra
Once we
detail.
get closer to the release date of Sun and Moon, I'd really like to do a discussion with you guys, like top 8 things we want to see in the new games, like maybe borrowed from other RPGs that have been released. And
Sure.
obviously, we know Pokemon needs to change a few elements, and there are a few things that I would like to talk about, but it's not the time.
Well, look,
right now.
we've got lots more about Pokemon to talk about.
Cool.
But before we do that,
Do you mind if we
let's just-
segue into just a bit of competitive play while we're talking about competitive play here as well? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
Oh yeah, go for it, Aaron.
Well, I guess me and Adam recently went to the Midsummer Showdown here in Perth, which is kind of like our standard PCs we go to.
Pretty
but-
much, yeah.
Oh, so you guys did well there? Or?
We
Whoa.
It was interesting.
I would say well is not a word I would
We
use.
were both
Aaron.
using old teams that, you know, we've been using at the start of this season, but
The metagame has evolved. It's very
yeah.
evolving. It's
So
constantly
you got
shifting.
like 6 wins or 5 wins?
I was out of 4 matches before Top Cut.
Oh, okay.
I got 2 and 2. Adam got...
I got 1 win.
Oh.
But that win was a bye. So
Oh.
really, I think I lost every match I was in. So
But did you have fun?
I had fun. Yeah.
That's good.
It was good too, because like
did.
I was explaining to Cam earlier, so this round we had 12 competitors. The top 8 got paid out championship points. But because this was a Midsummer Showdown, which is closer in value to a regionals tournament rather than a standard PC, we got like substantially more championship points for placing rather than you would in an all PC.
Right.
So it was good just to go, and even finishing in top 8, I got
So
quite a good reward.
can
for
you
it.
explain to the listeners what championship points do?
So championship points total for attending premier competitions and like Midsummer Showdown.
So as in like one's hosted by Nintendo or
or hosted by third parties as well, like
Yeah,
games,
but
which we
sanctioned
don't-
by Nintendo.
Sanctioned
they
by
asked? Yes,
Nintendo.
you have to be official
Yeah.
almost. You
So
know? Yeah.
if you, by attending these Nintendo authorized events, you can build up championship points. Which, for Masters, for example, I think if you get 200 points, you can secure yourself for a Worlds invite.
Yeah.
On day one, like not a paid
And
trip,
that's in America.
but just an invite to day one. Like there you go.
Yeah.
That's in Boston this year.
That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
We've also recently got dates for regionals here in Australia for each major town.
Awesome. Which are
I don't know them off the top of my head. I
No,
can bring them
so
up.
we don't have dates
You
confirmed.
can, we do. We do.
But at Perth?
Yeah, we got
do?
it for Perth
Oh, sorry, yeah.
recently, yeah.
Um,
Adam will quickly
yeah, I
find
was
this for
just
you now, but
quickly
we've
going-
also got dates for nationals in Melbourne as well.
cool.
So
That's usually around like October-ish, isn't it? Or
this
September?
is going to be. I know the one in Perth. I think is June, July. We're just bringing them up now.
Yeah, usually is in middle of the year, like June.
I think Nats is in July.
Okay, so you guys obviously having a team then, making a team.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I
definitely making a
definitely
team
will make
for
a
it. I
team.
don't know. I'll be traveling all the way to Melbourne from Perth for it.
Yep.
but it's definitely something to take.
Okay,
note
so
of.
the complete list. Ooh, new location as well. So we've got Adelaide, Sunday, May 1. Auckland, Saturday, May 7. Sydney, May 14th, Saturday. The following week, Brisbane, Saturday, May 21st. Melbourne, Sunday, May 29. Perth, rounding it out, Sunday, June 5th at the Perth Town Hall.
June 5th.
And the National Championships are at the Melbourne Park Function Centre, July 2nd and July 3rd.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Nationals are about a month after our regionals here in Perth.
All right.
So
That's all right.
yeah.
That's all right. Gives you enough time to prepare.
Yeah,
if you
so
need
that's
to.
what we're kind of building towards in the next for Pokemon competitive play in the next few months. What else did you want to move on to,
I
Cam?
was just going to say, we're going to end up coming back to Pokemon anyway. So I just want to touch quickly on Nintendo title rewards
Yes.
for My Nintendo.
Yes.
For
Right.
DS.
So this is very exciting news, guys. With the launch of Miitomo in the next couple of days,
Yep.
which has been confirmed for Western audiences to come out March 31st.
Yes.
So they've said that it was going to come out in March, and they made it sure that it was coming out in March, just the last day of the month.
11:59.
11:59.
No, I don't know.
No, it'll come out that day. And it's already, Miitomo is already generating a lot of big buzz in Japan. It's already topped the charts over there.
Yes, I did see that actually.
So I think we're headed for a big launch. And I definitely think Miitomo is going to be people trying it out, people downloading it because it's a free game. Because it's Nintendo.
I'm pre-registered.
Free to
We'll see
start.
how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give it a shot.
My Nintendo also being shown. So I'm just going to talk a bit about how it's different from Club Nintendo.
Okay.
So at the moment,
I was a big Club Nintendo user.
I
got
was
a lot
too.
of rewards from
I
them,
was
so
too. And so, yeah, and the rewards were cool. So
Yeah.
I love that Nintendo is doing
I still
this
use the shoelaces.
and doing a cool sort of extension of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, My Nintendo's, quite similar. They let you complete missions to earn points which you can redeem for rewards. So these missions can be anything from signing into the Nintendo eShop on a weekly basis, linking your Miitomo to the Nintendo account,
Cool.
Adding a friend on Miitomo. So there's points you can earn for Miitomo, points you can earn from, the eShop, and then just points you can earn from the website as well. So, and these rewards can, simple things like more game tokens in Miitomo.
Yep.
Outfits for Miitomo, and then like free and exclusive games like a brand new Zelda Picross title as
Yeah,
well.
Twilight Princess Picross was
Yeah.
like leaked almost. It was
Yeah.
leaked, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was leaked. So that's exciting. And then also we hear rumours of WarioWare Touched, which is the first DS game
Yes.
to be available for 3DS, which
Yeah.
I think is quite exciting. And then also there's discounts of up to 20% on various Wii U, 3DS, and eShop games.
Cool.
So it's very exciting. I will be using the website. I imagine we all will.
Yeah,
There's really
yeah.
no downside.
There's no reason not to. Yeah.
Yeah, there is no reason not to.
Hopefully you still earn points for actual purchases as well.
I'd
Yeah.
say you would. Yeah.
I say so too.
But Club Nintendo was really rewarding you for the amount of games that you bought.
Yes.
And this is also rewarding you for that as well, and how many hours you put in almost,
Sure,
like
yeah.
if you,
Yeah.
how involved you are.
And I think what Nintendo have realised is if they encourage you to play the games, and I've talked about this before, but if you encourage people to play the games and they enjoy the games, they're going to buy more of your games.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So it's really about making sure, because I've read a statistic, I think that like, it's like the finishing rate for most games that get bought is really low.
Oh, it's very low.
nowadays.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very low.
Most people who buy a game don't finish it.
Yeah.
And it's very different from any other kind of media. Like, how many people have you talked to that buy a movie on a DVD and don't finish it?
Yeah.
Like, it's very unlikely.
I did read a similar article lately, which was talking about video games and as a form of media. In comparison to reading a book wants to be read once you keep moving through it.
Yeah.
Same with a TV show. Video games are the only form of media that fight back. They try to kill you.
Yeah.
They try to stop you from progressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's one of those things.
It's not like you're reading a book and you're like, you suddenly stop and it's like, oh, this is like...
a movie.
much of an
A
effort,
movie
yeah.
you just gradually watch.
You can watch it passively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
can, yeah.
Book,
Yeah.
Reading a book and playing a video game, they're very,
involved
yeah, they are
processes.
involved.
Like,
yeah.
you
So
have to dedicate time. Like,
you can't play a video game and watch a movie at the same time. Well, you can, but that's stupid.
yeah, because you're
you
getting half experiences.
Yeah,
in
I
both.
think it was more touching on the fact that the game is actually forcibly trying to stop you progressing. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only form of media that does that, which is really interesting.
And I know a lot of people that, play a game not fully engaged with it, but they enjoy it, and then they get stuck, and then that's the last they see of it, Or
Yeah.
they've got too much other things on.
Well, how many times have we done that? How many times have and even with Nintendo games, we hit that wall. Like I hit a wall with Yoshi's Woolly World, and then I came back to it, but then I've still
Yes.
hit a wall again.
Yeah.
So and I had a good time with that game, but it's like, it'd be great if I didn't feel that way towards it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to feel that way for every game.
No, and you shouldn't feel like you have to pass the game because it's a certain game or whatever, you know? If you don't feel that your time is worth it, then don't do something else, you know?
Yeah, definitely. All right, so...
What else we got?
Yeah, Cam, we moving on?
Well, this is something that I know Chris is very, very serious about. There was a leak for the NX controller.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was totally real. It wasn't faked at all.
No,
So,
don't
Chris,
lie to the listeners.
Well, let's pass the mic to you, Chris.
Yeah,
'cause you're the one
give us
who
a
had
rundown
the
of
most,
this horrible week for Nintendo NX.
Well, can I just say that I lost like a full day of work to this thing. Like I was refreshing the page, I got like no work done. But so the deal was that there was an image that came out. It was of a white NX controller with no face buttons and an oval screen and 2 analog sticks, and that's all it was.
Yes.
And then people were like, "What's going on? It looks like the patent." Blah blah blah. Blah.
Yes.
Not sure if it was
It
real. or
looked
not.
exactly like the patent.
This photo looked quite fake.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yes.
A couple of days later, a black controller looking exactly the same, shot on like a office desk, comes out, and this thing looked legit. Like I don't know what you guys thought
looked
about it,
very real.
but it
Yeah.
looked really legit, like an actual object.
Yeah,
Turns out it was an actual object, but the guy 3D printed it, put some acrylic on, and it's like really well done. There's a 7-minute video on YouTube of the process that he went through and how he made it and stuff. It's really cool. But it basically divided the internet. It's crazy. And a lot of people had a lot of negative reactions to it. It's got no face buttons, obviously. And
Yes.
the idea is that it would be a whole touch screen.
And the internet went crazy over that.
did,
They
yes.
were like, do not steal away my full controller.
Yeah, I want my face buttons, I want my D-pad, which is completely valid, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, NeoGAF had like 150 pages within the first 24 hours on this thing, and there was a whole team, #TeamReal, #TeamFake, thing going on there. And yeah, I don't know, like what were you guys' thoughts when you first saw it? What was your initial reaction?
I was excited. Like, to be honest, if that was the controller we got, I wouldn't have been disappointed.
Really?
I wouldn't.
I disagree. I
Yeah.
saw it and I thought, this is the wrong direction for
I had a
Nintendo.
sinking feeling. Yes.
I did.
I assumed fake, but I also didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't.
I also
found out
assumed
that
it was
real, I
fake
would've been
too.
bummed out.
Because
I
I
think
thought...
the appeal with me was just that it was using, well, in theory, it was using new technology. Like
Yeah.
new,
A lot of new
screen
tech.
which I think anything that uses new tech to bring us forward is great.
And I feel the same way about that, Aaron. So I when I first saw it, I was like, oh dear, this is
Yes.
the type of thing that Nintendo does. They do something stupid, and it's like totally like them to do something like this. But then I was like, it can't be real. It's ridiculous.
No.
And then
This
I was just like
Nintendo-
toing and froing.
I'm going to put it out there. The Nintendo that put out the Wii U is not the Nintendo that's going to put out the NX. They have...
I certainly hope not.
I think... Well, think about it. In terms of the progression, I feel like we're going to get more of a GameCube-like progression than a Wii to Wii U
Yes,
thing,
I think so
you know?
too, yeah.
Because I think they are going to go the safer route. They cannot afford to take risks with a controller again. Because the last time they did it, people thought, oh, is this an upgrade for my Wii?
Yeah.
And they didn't understand that messaging. So, and there was also something as well I wanted to talk about how the trademark on one of the controllers said, what was the name for it? It's like Project, I think it was Nintendo Wii something. I think they were using the Wii name on one of the controllers.
On the fake
On
controllers.
one of the fake controllers.
There was a label that said confidential property. And
No,
then
I think there was something else. There was like, and I forgot what it was, unfortunately, but it was like, it was saying the name of the console, and I didn't want to remember. I think I blocked out the
You
name of the
blocked it out,
console
no.
because it
I'm
was
not
so
sure, Adam.
bad. But
you can find a photo. I'll have a look.
I'm trying to. But yeah, it's I just think we are getting a controller that's going to look like the Wii U Pro controller.
Yeah.
I'm ready to say that right now.
I hope it has some improvements. Of the Pro
I think it
controller,
will, but I think it's just a matter of. I don't know how they work out the compatibility with Wii U games yet.
yeah, I don't know.
still
That
don't
either.
know.
That's not up for me to find.
That's a
figure
real
out.
issue.
Yeah.
But I think we'll know in like the coming months. So, I mean...
Well, even if they decide to do backwards compatibility, we don't know. No one knows. Not even Nintendo knows.
But anyway, it was fake.
Yeah, it was
Let's move
fake,
on.
by the
Let's
way.
move
guys.
on.
Speaking of compatibility, let's think about the incompatibility, shall we say, of Hyrule on 3DS.
Hyrule Warriors Legends
Yes,
on
Standard
3DS.
3DS. So yeah, we're getting terrible frame rates and
Yeah.
there's all around bad reviews on 3DS normal.
Yep.
It's good on new DS, new
Yep.
3DS though. So if you've got a standard DS, maybe don't buy it. But if you do have the new 3DS, it's okay.
Full disclosure, none of us have the game earlier or anything. Like, I would suggest doing a few review research and just checking it out. But yeah, if you've got a Wii U, buy it on Wii U for sure.
Yeah.
The game looks pretty terrible on 3DS, to be honest. To the point where I don't think they should have even released it on 3DS.
I think I'm the only one who owns it currently, Hyrule Warriors, or at least has owned it.
Yeah, you have it.
Yeah, look, it's okay. It's not great.
Right.
It's not.
It's more of a
game
Zelda
you
fan
would
service.
have to- Yeah. So if you're not sure, don't bother.
Yeah.
If you're pretty interested, then get it on Wii U.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think
would be my
that's
advice.
best.
I mean, I think it's something we've realised is that I definitely think there was probably a discussion. I bet you this was a new 3DS exclusive title to start off with, and maybe in the development cycle they were like, maybe new 3DS is not hitting the install base that we need.
Yep.
We need to sell this game on 3DS as well, and hence why they've decided to rush it for both.
Yeah, it's not a good look, to be honest. But
Yeah.
you guys have a look for yourself. Check it out on YouTube and see what you think. I'm not recommending it for sure.
Definitely. Well, you're our resident Zelda expert, so I think we need to.
Yeah, but it's
follow
also
your
a
advice.
kind of a Dynasty Warriors game, not really a Zelda game. I don't even have the game.
Oh, I love you. Got to distance yourself from.
No, I'm
from
just
the
like
brand.
straight away. It's like the CDI Zelda game.
Yeah,
Joking.
fair enough.
All right. Well, I guess this is the best
meat.
time.
This is the meat of our podcast.
Get ready. Here is the main course of this meal of Nintendo.
We had the
Get
appetizer.
yourself a new napkin.
We had the entree. Now it's time
Get
for
your bigger
main.
forks.
All right. So
Yes.
Pokken has come out recently.
Since our last episode, Pop.
Yeah.
Yes.
I picked it up the day it came
Pokken
out.
Day. How was your Pokken Day?
I had
Cam?
a really good Pokken Day.
Pokken tournament.
I popped
Yes.
it on. I did a little video that is available on our YouTube account and obviously from www.redcoin.net.au.
Yep.
I just did a little bit about the tutorial. It's just a quick little feed in about what you can expect from the game, some of the game styles.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to get too far into it without playing it. I might have changed my mind and hated the game completely.
Right.
But anyway, so I really enjoyed it. It only had like a 5-minute update, so it was very quick to get into it.
Yeah.
Straight away, a beautiful game. Just the,
It does look good.
It's the best a Pokemon has looked
Yeah.
in this game.
It's very
Absolutely.
pretty. good.
I think, yeah, I can definitively say it's the best looking Pokemon game I've ever seen.
Lucario, you can see his fur. Garchomp looks scaly.
Yeah.
It's just really good. So I stuck to just the tutorials first. Went through, just thought I might as well get an idea of how to actually play it. Then started smashing out single player. I think I passed the green and then the green and then blue cup. And then I stopped at that day. So I mean that was like 30 or 40 matches. So it was a good chunk of play. It was hard to tell if I was really good at it or the game was really easy. I didn't lose a game until my 58th match with Gengar. So obviously the first couple of cups are very basic.
Yeah.
So I think that was.
I think later
gets
that
you into
week
it.
or day, Adam and I came around. We played a bit with you as well.
Yeah.
And I found that as well that just as a first experience, it's one of those games where you can easily pick up how to be half decent in 2 or 3 battles.
Yeah.
I guess even more so if you've done the tutorial.
It is a Tekken game.
Yeah.
Basically. And Tekken is, to an extent, a button masher. So you
Yeah.
can survive just by hitting random buttons, but obviously a skilled player is going to be able to beat you.
But you know what I think the real difference is between my experiences with Pokken and more traditional fighting games like a Tekken or that of Street Fighter V recently, is that I feel like it is a lot less technical. It is still approachable,
Yeah.
and it's a lot easier for a kid that's in that target bracket of, say, 8 to 15.
Absolutely.
That doesn't get that experience with
Yeah.
traditional fighters to learn how to play the game.
What I like as well is they've implemented a rock, paper, scissors type thing. So you have grab moves, reversal moves, and standard
Which I think
attacks.
is great. I think more fighting games should take up this structure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like this.
I like that
structure.
too.
I had a good friend recently ask me, what is the moveset's kind of like? Is it like Tekken where you have to go like square, square, triangle, X,
Yeah.
circle, square, square,
Yeah.
triangle?
There are combos, but I will stick to mostly just the same move. So
Yeah.
I'll break it down. I won't go into every single button combination.
Please don't.
But so you've got your Pro Controller, your gamepad, whatever you're using. Y is your light attack, X is heavy attack, and then a directional button with that will change it slightly. X is also a ranged attack, so you'll kind of heat seek someone, you'll walk automatically towards them and attack them. You then have your A button, which is your Pokemon specific attack. So if your Gengar, for example, down A is Curse, which damages the opponent but also damages you a little bit. Back A is Shadow Punch. So each Pokemon has their own specific ones. My favorite, personally, the one I ended up using is Pikachu Libre. His side A in dual mode is the Stone Cold Stunner. It's fantastic. I love it.
My favourite is Shadow Mewtwo, and I want to talk.
You would.
Yeah.
Oh, typical.
Shade.
Typical for
Anything
me.
with shade, you love it.
Typical. What shade?
It's
not a
You
tree.
throw shade. You
It's
throw
not a
shade.
pseudo-Woodite.
His super, he throws
His
a giant ball of shade from space.
If you were a
It's not
Pokemon, you'd be
Nightshade.
Shadow Mewtwo.
Hey, it's not Nightshade, which there are ghost Pokemon in there that could conceivably be using Nightshade, like Gengar and Chandelure. But I think Shadow Mewtwo is one of my favorites because it is just a badass looking Pokemon and it just gets in there and just,
Yeah.
is good at what it
Cam,
does.
you didn't find you had to go through the tutorial with each Pokemon you tried, though, did
No,
you?
I mean, the layout is basically the same for each.
Sure.
The thing that changes is the strength of attack and the different types of attack. But like the button response is the same. You will always do a specific attack when you hold down Y. So you can. I would advise maybe going through it, if all the tutorials if you're going to be serious about playing a character, just so you can learn it. I went through with Pikachu in Pikachu Libre in the tutorial and found out a move that I wouldn't have otherwise found out.
Sure.
Just different combos, but it's not necessary to repeat it over and over. At least the first few. There are a couple tutorials that are advanced techniques, so maybe go through that with them. But it's not too
See,
bad.
I found I haven't bought the game, but I played at your house. I've had a lot of friends who have got it, so I've been playing a lot of different people's houses. I've still had a lot of time to play the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. It's like Smash Bros. You can go on your mate's place and just have play around a
Yeah.
bit.
It's
I've
pretty
been finding
accessible.
personally that I've been liking like Marchamp and Blaziken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Oh,
types.
Blaziken's another one I really
Yeah.
enjoyed, yeah.
And obviously we've been seeing things like Mewtwo's counted as pretty god tier. Same with Charizard.
Well, I'll go over the tier list in a bit, but just before
Yeah.
I do that, I haven't had a chance to do any online play yet, so I haven't really been able to see how I fare against other players.
Sure.
Or
you
even
guys-
how it handles online
Yeah,
as well, because I
exactly.
feel like that's a bit of a concern.
Oh, actually, before we touch tier list, Chris, what have you thought about the game?
Well, I played a bit of it at Cam's house, and it is very accessible because I think it's like it falls more in line with Smash Bros than it does with Tekken.
I agree.
As far as the move, like we've got a melee and we've got a special move and we've got up and side moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do think it's just a Pokemon skin Tekken.
Yeah.
I would love to see some more type influence effect like moves, for example.
Yeah.
For example, Pikachu
or
wouldn't
even
do his...
damage, even.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
just
mean,
Even
like-
the fact that, a water attack will do the same damage on Blaziken as it will on
Yeah,
Marchand,
so I'd love
you
to
know.
see something like that.
And-
Obviously, there's issues
And
related to that.
there are critical hits and stuff, and some Pokemon are more effective with typing. Not
Yeah.
typing as in fire versus water,
Right.
but there are technical fighters are effective against power fighters and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
like
So
that,
there is
those labels
yeah.
are in
so
there.
there are
yeah.
some elements of that, but obviously, you're never going to be able to get that full integration because then a lot of
Yeah.
Gardevoir would be completely outclassed.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have a situation where there'd be more types than others. I mean, we've got 2 Pikachus in the game, 2 Mewtwo's in the game.
Yeah.
Well, look,
that sort of thing.
I'll go through the tier list now.
Do you also think, Chris, in terms of the variety, how do you guys feel about it? Because we've gone from a game in Smash Bros. That was our main fighter, where
Yeah.
it's 45 plus characters, to now a game where there's only
11 or something, 14.
Yeah.
No, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 14, 16.
14.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. I mean, this is a new franchise, so I mean, we
There
remember
will
when
be more
Smash came out,
characters
there was
added
12.
to it. Like it,
I hope. Look,
Yeah.
before I go into tiers, just very, very quickly as a last comment on it, it's a very good game. It needs some DLC, and if
Yeah.
it doesn't get it, it will fall behind.
Yeah.
But it has the opportunity to
I
be
mean,
really
stand-
good.
But then
Standing up
what
against,
do
for
we get in
example,
DLC though?
Characters.
Characters, more maps,
Yeah.
more support.
you put it in
Pokemon.
comparison to
Nothing
Mario
huge.
Kart
Yeah.
with the base game of Mario Kart before it got
Yeah.
DLC. Same with Smash Bros. Before it got
Yeah.
DLC. It's holding up very well.
I think it could use another couple tournaments in single player as well
Yeah.
and extend the story out. The story is good, but not great.
I think they're looking at this game and saying, look, how's it going?
Yeah.
Let's see how it sells, and then we'll put money into
and
DLC
at the end of the
development.
day, it
Yeah.
was an arcade game.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
never meant to leave Japanese.
But then
arcades.
that's
It's
the
come a
thing
long
as
way.
well. It's like, I look at Smash Bros. Without the DLC, it's still a great game, and I would recommend it. I look at Mario Kart without the DLC, still a great game. The difference with Pokken is it doesn't have the longevity without any DLC that those other two games might have. And I think, Cam's played a lot of the one single player and has probably will hit that point soon where, unless you're playing multiplayer on a regular basis,
how do you stay engaged?
You won't really stay engaged with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to probably take into account. And the difference is maps don't have any influence over the
it's just
feel.
aesthetic.
Again. It's all aesthetic. And one thing I also want to talk about is I really like the mechanic of the phase change.
Yeah.
That is a cool mechanic.
And
yeah,
so, guys, so for those who don't know, the phase change is so you'll start the battle on a 3D plane, and you'll be battling people in a 3D plane, kind of like Dragon Ball Z or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'll then move to a 2D plane when you land a hit on your opponent.
Yeah. So its field phase is basically large map.
Yeah.
And then you go into dual mode, which is just close quarters. So, it's very interesting because you can fall back and practice some maneuvers while you're in field phase, and then when you're in dual mode, it's all about just smashing out
and close
as
combat,
much damage as you can.
it is a very cool mechanic.
I really like
all
that.
right, so now for all you guys out there that are trying to choose your characters you're playing for the first time, Cam,
Here
give
is
us the tier list.
So there are a couple online. This is the one I found has the most agreement in it. So
there's no official one?
Not yet.
Okay, there will be eventually.
I think this is semi-official,
new.
but this is
Subject
what
to
is
change.
what is basically agreed to as the thing. So in no particular order, Charizard is B tier. Charizard is a power type, so it's all about how hard he hits. So he is very hard and very slow to play with. Pikachu, standard Pikachu is an S tier. So he's standard, so it means he's got a good balance of speed, technique, and power. So he's S tier. Pikachu Libre is A tier. The way I play him, I feel like he would be S tier, but he's officially A tier apparently. Machamp is C, so it's very outclassed, very slow. He's power, so it's all about how much he hits. Doesn't have very many special techniques. Gengar is B tier, right on the verge there. He's a technical type, so it is all about his sort of Pokemon attacks rather than his physical attacks. Mewtwo is A tier, standard Mewtwo that is. Shadow Mewtwo is S tier. Suicune C tier, don't even bother with Suicune. Sceptile is A, but it feels like C. Blaziken is A, but feels like B. Gardevoir is S, but feels like C. I could not figure out Gardevoir, but I guess if you know how to play it,
Pokemon, to be quite honest.
if you know how to play it, it must be pretty good.
Yeah.
Garchomp is B, Lucario is A, Weavile is A, Chandelure is A, and Braixen is S. Again, Braixen felt like one of the weakest Pokemon to me, so I'm not sure how it's S. There is a full support tier list. I won't go into all of them.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly announce the S tier support Pokemon. So Evitan and Latios, Reshiram and Cresselia, which is the one I use pretty much the whole way through, and Frogadier and Eevee and Emolga and Fennekin. So 4 out of the 20 sets are S. So,
yeah. One thing I think about the support sets is they're quite odd pairings in terms of Pokemon that aren't really complementing each other in terms of history.
There's only one set that makes sense, and
Umbreon,
that's Espeon and Umbreon.
Yeah.
Kind of
the
weird.
rest, is very, very weird. We won't go into them, so not very necessary.
No. But one thing I think, tier lists aside, it seems like every one of the, characters that I've had my hands on does seem to give the other player a run for its money. And, it doesn't really matter that much unless you really want to play competitively with it.
Yeah, it's
which
probably...
they are delving a lot of... They are putting a lot of money into
I think
this.
it's got a spot at EVO, actually.
Yeah, so I'd be keen to see. I'd be keen to play it
enter this
competitively.
at PAX or what.
Yeah, you should get into the competitive scene. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do we have much else to cover before we start talking about what we've been playing?
Well, I think just to quickly wrap it up, Pokken is
How many red coins would you give it?
Alright, Pokken, an initial release,
Yes.
7 out of 8.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I can agree with that.
It was
7 out of
just
8.
lacking single player.
Yeah.
It needs more story.
I can agree that it's one of the best Nintendo games I've seen in a while.
In terms of being able to play it straight on the day, it's good. It's very visually appealing. It's fun. I think in the long run, it would probably be a 4, maybe a 3 or 4, possibly a 5, depending on any DLC we get. I don't think it will last the test of time. Sort of Splatoon, it's fun while it's new, but it won't be able to hang around as much as I love Splatoon.
Do you remember last year we were talking about Splatoon like it was the greatest thing ever, and that dropped off big time.
Yeah, I mean it's still a really good game.
I think it's still really popular. Especially, it's got its own community, but I don't.
But
I don't
again,
know.
with all multiplayer only games,
Yep.
they have their own community. Like we know people that exclusively play Smash. I know people that exclusively play Splatoon. You
Yeah.
know, everyone has their niche, and I think Pokken can be a niche for someone. But I personally will have my time with it, really enjoy it,
And then go back to playing with
And then-
Kirby and his Robosuit.
and then go back to playing Kirby in his Robosuit or playing Star Fox in a couple of
Yeah.
months. So
I think this might be one of those things where it's just like, hey, let's play Smash. Hey, let's play some Mario Kart now. Hey, let's play Pokken. Just
Yeah.
chuck it in there as a
on the rotation.
It's always a
yeah, I
always a
definitely
go-to.
would add it to the rotation if
Yeah.
I have friends over. So yeah.
Adam, what have you been playing?
Well, besides Pokken, not much else, to be quite honest. I mean, I briefly started the Division, but I won't delve into that too much. I just, from my Destiny experience, wanted to try the Division.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Because I've heard people very divided. Not to.
Not to have a pun.
Wow, that is thievery.
That was completely unintended. I
No,
promise.
no.
You completely stole my joke.
The thing about
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Hang on, we'll stop recording. We're around and you can do it.
No.
That's fine.
The thing about the Division is maybe I needed more friends to like take me through the start of it. But
I think that was the thing for me, Adam. I think
Yeah.
a lot of my friends got on PC, whereas I'm more of a like Nintendo or PS4 player.
yeah.
So I didn't really have that many people to play with, so I didn't really bother getting it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm kind of regretting picking Xbox as my version because I thought I'd have Xbox friends that'd be keen to do it, and they didn't really buy the game. So
Yep.
I'll still keep it, and I'll wait for them to play. I'll buy the game. and then
Or
we'll
the
play it.
Division should just release on Nintendo Wii U, and then we can all play it.
Well,
It won't.
With that crossplay.
yeah,
Crossplay
no, I
is
don't.
coming.
Crossplay coming for other consoles, not the Wii U. Maybe the NX.
Nintendo would never come to the party with that.
If
fine.
it's established before NX comes out, it's a possibility.
Well, it's so interesting. You know, we talked about that possibility of the quote unquote one console future. It's something that always gets brought up as a discussion point, and I think we could be heading towards that because I feel like gamers as a user base don't like this fragmentation when it comes to these multi-platform titles. Like, I think having the discussion about even Star Wars Battlefront is an example. Like, I have friends who want to play that on Xbox, and I have friends who want to play that on
Yep.
PS4. I bought it on PlayStation, but I was this close to buying it on Xbox, and I might be a special use case, but I feel like a lot of people have that problem.
Yeah.
So,
I think that crossplay really, really only benefits the console that is in front
yeah.
because, it hinders the console that's in front.
Yes.
So why would Sony want crossplay on their console?
Yeah.
You know?
When they know people are going to flock to their console anyway because
Yeah.
that's where the user base
Exactly.
is.
So Microsoft are the one that wants it. I know we're going off a tangent here, but yeah,
But that's
yeah.
kind of point I wanted to raise with my what
Yep.
I've been playing is that like this idea of cross playing is something that I think is quite intrinsic as we move to more and more multiplayer games. It's going to become more and more important.
Yep.
So
What about
something
you,
to think
Aaron? What have you been playing?
Again, this whole last one has been competitive Pokemon and Pokken and some other PlayStation stuff. That's not worth mentioning.
Yeah.
So, that's been about me. I've been enjoying the Pokemon competitive scene and Pokken, and that's kept me more than entertained. So, yeah, it's been good fun.
Chrissy?
Cool. I finished Twilight Princess HD.
Nice.
yes.
How's it?
What did the Australian studio adapt?
They did really well.
A good
They did
adaptation,
really
yeah.
well, yeah. I would have loved to see a bit more time spent put into the game and changing a few of its glaring flaws.
Yes.
But we know, like, they didn't put as much effort into this as I think they did for Wind Waker HD. Mm-hmm. I think
Do you think it was because it's less of a jump in terms of the span of release from?
what do you mean?
Say, so because Wind Waker came out so long ago, they had to do more work to it and were more willing to tinker with some stuff, whereas they thought they had more of a ready-made package with Twilight
No, I think
Princess.
it's actually the opposite, Adam, because the cell shading of Wind Waker really lent itself. It aged really well.
Yeah.
So they did do the lighting, they did bloom, they did frame rate, they did HD textures, it was 1080p.
Right.
But they also changed things with the game that were really bad.
Yes.
They made the game a lot better.
Yes.
With Twilight Princess, they added a few things, but not enough to fix the glaring poor low points of the game.
Yeah.
It still looks really, really good, but by the end of the game, I was kind of worn out. You know,
Right.
it's 60 hours. I
Yeah.
put 60 hours into this thing,
And you'd already played that 60 hours before.
Exactly. So it's a long game,
But
I love it.
But my question to you is as well, then, I'll put this to you. Do you think the fact that amiibo functionality is now such a big point any new Nintendo game that comes out. Do you think that kind of takes away from some of the experience in terms of like, so Wind Waker, you don't need any amiibo for that game. You do for this game to unlock some modes and that kind of thing. Like, how did you feel that? Did it take away from the experience or what
well, it added to the experience, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a massive deal. I borrowed Cam's.
I borrowed forcefully removed.
Yeah,
Cam's Wolf Link amiibo, or no, you bought that.
I bought Wolf Link, but I borrowed Cam's Ganondorf amiibo to give it a bit more of a challenge because it does all the enemies do double damage while you have it scanned in.
Right.
And being a pro, he needs that challenge.
Right.
Yeah.
I think without that, you would have probably gotten bored of it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is just
it's quite an easy game to be honest.
What did any of the other like Zelda amiibos do?
I touched on this last episode, but
I'll
I'll go through again. So a Link and Toon Link give you refill your arrow count.
Yeah.
Only use once a day.
Yeah. So you didn't use those at all then?
Yeah, I used Link a few times.
You did,
yeah, just because I was running out on arrows. And Zelda and Sheik refill your hearts.
Yep.
Ganondorf.
Double damage.
Makes
double damage.
Double damage. Yeah. And what did you think about the fact that you didn't have to use Waggle for the very least?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. To be honest, the GameCube version is the better version. I know that's probably like blasphemy. I don't know.
I think that's a popular opinion.
GameCube version is way better than the Wii version.
Did you play it on GameCube?
Yeah, I owned it on
did?
GameCube,
Okay.
but I played it on Wii also.
Yes.
So I bought the game 3 times.
Yeah. Wow.
So
True Nintendo
nerd.
Nerd. Do you still own that GameCube version? Because I think that might be going.
It's worth a lot of money.
It's worth a lot of money.
It's worth a lot of money
because limited run.
I have all 3 versions.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
yeah, anyway, Twilight Princess HD. That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
But you recommend it to someone who's never played it before?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very substantial game. And obviously it's got its flaws, as I mentioned, but yeah, very good game.
Yeah. It's at a good price as well.
Yeah, it's a good price. Yeah.
Cam, what about you?
Look,
Any mobile games to talk about?
I bet there is.
No. Just the usual. Just Tetris. My one true love. No, I haven't been playing too much. Pokken, obviously. But I've just been working and doing a bit of practice for my side gig. I won't go into that here.
He's a hooker.
I'm a male escort for hire.
No.
Just give me no.
Contact
The
us.
children that listen.
Contact us through the.
Somebody please think of the children.
Cam's a leg surgeon, and he's the one that's done.
And business is booming lately, guys.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants one.
Well, actually,
all of a
Adam, you've
sudden.
been playing mobile games.
Actually, I have.
You have a new mobile game. You've been raving about.
I want to briefly talk about, because if Cam doesn't want to talk about that mobile game, I will. It's Clash Royale.
Dear.
I haven't got
Before
it yet.
you snigger, all right? The games press has rallied around this game. It is from the makers of Clash of Clans, which
I couldn't tell.
which some people might know as a standard free-to-play game that is, I think, a tower sort of defense game that has those standard free-to-play hooks.
Pops up on Twitter way too often.
Pops up a lot. Pops up on all
social media.
forms of social media. But I never wanted to play Clash of Clans. I had my brother get hooked on that, and I was like, I do not want any part of this. Clash Royale, on the other hand, is very different. It's like a card-based game. It's a lot simpler. You spend mana points on these creatures, and you're having this quick 3-minute battle with another player online, and you briefly unlock things. I really like it.
Better than Hearthstone?
Nothing better than Hearthstone.
No.
I still play that game every day. Hearthstone is a game I will play every day for the rest of my life, I think. Sure. I can definitively say that, unless they really mess up the game. Clash Royale, though, is a game that, if I'm sick of Hearthstone, I'll go to that, and I'll play... You can play, like, a few games, and at the end, if you win, you get a chest that gets unlocked in either 3 hours or 8 hours. Those chests have stuff you can unlock. It's a great game. I fully recommend it to anyone who has a mobile. It's free. And I didn't have to spend any money yet. I don't plan to. So,
Look,
yeah.
speaking
Clash
of mobile,
Royale.
and we'll touch on this a little bit before we go. We had a Pokemon Go announcement.
Yes.
We actually
coming
forgot.
back to
Oh,
Pokemon.
wow, yeah, we totally
Yeah.
skipped over that. Let's
Totally
quickly-
forgot about that.
So they've
Can
given
Adam,
us
can you
a
just
little
quickly
bit.
rattle off
Yes,
exactly what
I
we
will
got?
rattle it off. So we got the first official screenshots, and
Which were leaked and thought were fakes, but they've been confirmed.
but they've
now.
been confirmed as real now.
It looks really good.
It
Yeah.
does, I must say.
It's a cool looking Squirtle.
Cool looking Squirtle. So new gameplay details, and according to the press release, players will progress through Pokemon Go by increasing their trainer level, which enables players to capture rare, more powerful Pokemon. So I take it you'll capture Weedles to start off with, and then Beedrill. Pokeballs and other special items will be available at Pokestops, which are stores located at public places like art installations, historical sites, and monuments. Not really good for a place like
And
Perth.
these will obviously be rotating. these will be rotating constantly.
Yes.
So, you'll have, Zapdos might rock up and there'll be a different location all the time.
Yes. But
So interesting.
Zapdos won't always be at the bell tower, for example.
So,
Hope not.
among other items, players will find Pokemon eggs at Pokestops, and these are designed to hatch after players walk a certain distance.
Okay.
So this game's all about getting you out there, getting you active in the
Could you
real
imagine
world.
Pokemon breeding where you actually have to get the steps?
Man, I'm going to take up CrossFit
That'd
for
be
this.
so
I'm
good.
going to take up CrossFit
Oh,
for
no,
this.
thank you.
Well, I do a lot of walking.
I
so
do
I'm
not
okay
do a
with
lot
that.
of walking, so I already am like...
Okay, so that's the whole breeding and catching.
I'm just going to be
side.
getting my phone and just start shaking it.
No
You
wonder
were that kid with your Digimon, weren't
Oh, I
you?
was. Or the Poker Walker from Heart Gold and Soul
they
Silver.
mentioned some stuff
Poker
that-
Walker is still the most accurate pedometer ever released.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It is quite accurate, I must say.
the most
It is
accurate.
incredibly accurate.
Can we just touch on that was breeding and catching? Can we touch on what they said about gyms?
Yeah, so working together, teams will battle for control of empty Pokemon gyms, which, like
Okay.
Pokestops, can be found at real-world locations.
So they haven't been clear what teams are, whether it's teams of 6 or like Ingress, there's teams of thousands.
Yeah.
No one's really sure.
So, I mean, the thing about that is it does seem to be borrowing a lot from Niantic's previous game being Ingress. I do think it is going to be like a turf war kind of deal.
Yep.
And it's not going to focus on the raising of Pokemon as much. You'll have the Pokemon and you'll just battle with them. You'll constantly battle.
Yep.
But you won't necessarily be picking moves or
It
doing
will
that
be
kind of-
different.
What interests me, and I don't know if it says in this article that you're reading, Adam, but I've heard somewhere that, you battle, for example, and you leave one of your Pokemon at the gym.
To like defend for you or
Yeah,
something.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I'm thinking is, if teams of thousands, that's not going to work, is it? Because otherwise, there's going to be thousands of Pokemon left at a gym.
I think,
Yeah.
just going back on like the Mewtwo video that was released ages ago, I think don't picture it as actual Pokemon battles. Think of it as here is 10,000 health points.
Yeah.
Now the team has this amount of time to
And, like,
finish
fight
that
the
before
boss.
it's reset.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's going to be something like that.
Yeah. Well, we've got also news that the Pokemon Go, so it's going to be field tested in Japan at the moment.
Starting today, it's being filled.
Starting today.
So we'll
and
all
then it's
move
gonna,
over.
and then it's going to expand to other countries in the weeks to come.
So if you're listening to our podcast from Japan, which is possible,
yes.
and you see people running around the streets looking
You're not
like
understanding anything we're saying right now, but you're still listening.
looking like people are playing with imaginary animals.
Konnichiwa.
Get out there.
Arigato.
Get out there, start hunting. And look, I'm sure we'll hear a lot more
Yeah.
in weeks to come about how the field test goes, what Japanese players think about the game, and I still can't wait. I'm still very excited.
Look, as always, like, subscribe, share, comment, tell your friends. www.redcoin.net.au.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
On Facebook, YouTube, iTunes. Make sure you subscribe. We're getting more people listening nowadays, more people watching the YouTube videos. So
Yes.
that's good.
And we love you all.
And well, look, platonically, I love you all. I haven't met you yet. Maybe, look, we'll get a drink. We'll have a chat.
If you
It'll be
listen
good.
to this podcast, we truly do love you and we love our fans.
Swipe-
But we also have some feedback. So
Swipe,
Yeah.
swipe right for Adam on Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.